Welcome back to Big Opinions Podcast, the podcast that is absolutely full of it today. So this week it's just me, but wait, do not leave yet because I just want to tempt you with a little shit talking. Like we're just gonna be doing a little shit talking today. And what's that? Oh, this just in. I shit talk every week. Okay, that is true, but this week it's gonna be a little different. Okay, it's just gonna be a little different. That's what we're gonna do, and I just want to get right into it. So first, I love being right. You know that I love being right. And I just want to reflect on a past opinion that I have had that I have spoken openly about on this very podcast, which can you believe it? This began last April. I have been not totally inconsistent with it. I think this is what, episode 32, 33 minus some. Okay. The math isn't that great, but just to say that if we're still going since April, I'm pretty proud of that. Considering this whole thing was really just a big experiment to see if I could actually do this, if I could start a podcast, if I could figure out how to produce it, if I could figure out how to edit it, if I could add some video element into it, which if everything goes right with this episode, there will be a video element to this and this will be on YouTube. We're just having fun with this. So, you know what? I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you for showing up every week and listening and submitting your big opinions and just being so much fun. So thank you. Where was I even going with this? Oh, yes. Okay. So yeah, one of the first episodes I said flat out, big opinion, clear glasses are only meant for two people. They are meant for hot girls and interesting people. Doesn't matter, guy or girl. And I was on LinkedIn earlier today because, like I have said in the past, I was born to be an Instagram mom. I am forced by my bank account to be a LinkedIn loser. Anyway, I was on there and I was looking and I saw an old college classmate of mine, and he's doing all these amazing things with his career, with his life. And I was just kind of like poking around, being nosy, doing what I do. And I clicked on his profile picture. Yep, sure enough, clear glasses. He is like the perfect example of who should wear clear glasses because he's so interesting. He's so cool. He's doing all these amazing things. So, anyway, that is why I got rid of my clear glasses. I had some clear glasses and I had to get rid of them because I am just, you have to have a certain like je ne sais quoi to have clear glasses. And I'm not even going to beat a dead horse with this because I've already made my point. And it's just good to see reinforced messages out there like, yeah, you are right. Felt good. So speaking of LinkedIn, this week I usually do, on Tuesday, I do the submit your big opinions box. And I did that. And I do it over on the Big Opinions Instagram page, which if you haven't followed that yet, it's at Big Opinions Podcast. Please go follow it. There's like maybe 100 people over there, maybe not even 100 people over there. Let's fill that baby up. But I do it on my account too. And that seems to be where most of the people reply, which is fine. It's cool. I love to interact that way. But I opened it up to not just submitting your big opinions, but to asking questions, making comments, blah, blah, blah. And that's all you needed. That's all some people needed to just ask some questions. It was so funny. The most popular one was people just don't quite understand what I do for work. I think that some of them straight up said just like, oh, I thought you were a stay-at-home person. Not work at home, not stay at home mom, but just kind of sit around. Like, no, actually I do work from home. So I left my agency job 2 years ago. I loved it. We had so much fun. We specialized in video content. We told stories. It was amazing. And I had moved away and I just felt like it was time for me to try it on my own. So that's what I do. I do marketing contracting, marketing consulting, on the side through my own little contracting business, but bigger than that and more exciting, I am a partner in this business called Leverage 4. And what Leverage 4 does, we're basically a broker of independent contractors and fractional workers. And we match people like me, contractors like me, with businesses that need that expertise or need that skill set, and they don't have to hire full time. So it's saving all these businesses money, and it's just really cool. And I love to see contractors who have made that leap, who have gone out on their own and who are maybe unsure of how they're going to find their next contract or their next big thing. That's exactly what we do. We take care of those people while taking care of these businesses. I truly love it. I think this model is not to pat ourselves on the back, but so smart. The other 3 partners and I, it was just, this thing has evolved too. And so, yeah, I don't know. If you are just at a crossroads with your career, I'm never going to tell you what to do. I'm never going to tell you to quit your job or go do this or go do that. But there are options out there that can help you truly meet your goals and, get where you need to be if that's something that you want to do. I never thought I'd be passionate about talking about hiring, but it's so much more than hiring. It's so cool. So yeah, to be able to do those things, I am so grateful, and missing my co-host here. He's truly the one that makes this all possible. Jeff, he works his ass off. I know I give him so much shit, but he works his ass off to make sure our family is taken care of. And he, made sure I was able to leave my agency job when I chose to. So I don't know. Why I'm telling you all that, but oh yeah, where I was going with that is I opened it up so people asked that and I was answering it, and I was like, wow, I never really shared that outright. I don't know why. There's just, I share a lot, but I don't share everything. I know, big surprise. I think I'm authentic in what I do share, but I'm not sharing everything just because I think some things don't need to be talked about. Certainly I think about that too, when I'm talking about my kids and I'm telling stories about my kids, I try to not tell all the stories, because what if they were to hear this someday? They're like, wow, mom, you told the story when I peed my pants at Adventureland. That never happened, by the way. But I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to embarrass, my future kids. Not my future kids. I have kids, my kids in the future. Jeez, struggling today. So yeah, I'm just, all that's to say, I don't know how these influencers do that. Like every week they'll put a question box every week. And I know the questions I got, which were fair and valid and totally tame, but I know that people, when given the opportunity to ask a question, by the way, these are not anonymous. I can see who these come from. So just heads up to you when you're asking these influencers or people who are like, ask me anything, you're really asking anything. And also your name is tied to that. I don't know. Maybe that should be my big opinion. Those question boxes should be anonymous. Actually, they shouldn't be, because we need to know who's asking those freaking unhinged questions. Unhinged, speaking of, switching gears here. I was watching something earlier and this person called themselves uncalibrated, which made me laugh so hard. Imagine calling yourself uncalibrated, which I do believe I am a bit uncalibrated. So I think I am going to start using that to describe myself. Sorry, I know I'm a bit uncalibrated right now. Yeah, I definitely am. So, oh yeah, some people in the question box didn't know where I lived. I think most of you do. This is Iowa. I wish I could spin you around and show you outside. The ground is covered in white stuff. It's snow, you guys. Don't be sick. It's snow that the ground is covered in. And I believe the wind chill this morning was -24. So very cold. Our kids had our kids had 2-hour delays for a few of the days, but not today. I'm not sure why. Maybe they thought they were just numb enough and they could just send them. So there's a couple things in the headlines I wanted to talk about. The dress. Yeah, we all remember the dress. The dress is 10 years old today. And I want to know, when you listen to this episode, leave either a comment on YouTube or on Instagram. Where were you when that dress hit your timeline? Where were you when that dress hit your consciousness? Like, where were you when you found out about the dress? And also, what did you see? I know exactly where I was when the dress was going around. We were living in our house in Altoona. No, we didn't have kids because it was 10 years ago. So maybe we weren't even in Altoona. Yes, we were. It doesn't matter. Oh my God, I'm overthinking everything. We were sitting in Altoona, and it was on Twitter, I believe. And I was like, oh yeah, that's black and blue. And I showed Jeff. He's like, that's gold and white. Like, no, you're joking me. So then I took a screenshot of it. I sent it to my mom and dad. I'm like, you see blue and black, right? And my mom replied back, she's like, you're kidding. I'm like, no. She's like, your dad wants to know if you're joking. No, I'm not joking. That dress is blue and black. And come to find out, the dress is blue and black. When you put it into Photoshop and you color drop the thing, it's blue and black. So I hate to be such a bragger that I know, but it probably shows that I'm not using like the creative side of my brain or something. If I'm seeing blue and black, what the dress actually is, I'm sure it means that you're like a creative, intuitive, great, wonderful angel of a person if you can see the gold and white. Yeah, that's just not me. And I don't feel bad about that. We all knew that. The dress. That really did divide the world. We need like something opposite of the dress right now to unify us again. Maybe it's our hockey team who's just beating the shit out of Canada right now. I love that. The Canadians, they booed us last week during our national anthem. during the hockey game. And then what do? We whoop their asses. I love that. So maybe that's what's going to unify us. Maybe not. I don't know. You know what I don't think is going to unify us? The Masked Singer. That TV show is still on TV. I have never watched 1 second of that TV show because I described it to someone earlier today as this show is somehow seems laced with drugs. I see previews for it. I see it all the time on, what is it, Fox? I don't know. And I'm like, that show is still on. Who is watching that show? So, okay, I've asked you to answer about the dress. I also want to know if you are watching The Masked Singer. Like, what the hell is that show? It just seems like it's trippy. Who designs those masks? It's not even a mask. That's like a whole ass costume. And the people aren't really in there. The concept, I don't know. It's someone up on a stage singing, and then they have to go through this whole obstacle course to figure out who is in there singing. I don't know. It just seems wacky. And I'm a wacky person, but I'm not that wacky. Okay, I feel like it's been 12 minutes. It's probably about time to wrap it up and get into my big opinion this week. And just because Jeff is here, I'm not going to go hard in the paint for the men. I'm not. I just have observed a few things. And actually, I kind of wish he was here to talk about this with me. But in my opinion, men go hard on their midlife crises, and women, we just kind of want to start our sourdough journey. You know, we don't go as hard. We don't go as crazy. So, and why is that? You think about a typical midlife crisis for a man, and it's like going hard. It's like cars, women who are half their age. It's like veins getting all yacked out, like veins and stuff. And women, it's like, yeah, I'd honestly love to get some chickens. Like, better yet, like maybe like 2 chickens, because I don't want the one chicken to be lonely. And then like I would just like a little coop. And then maybe, you know, yeah, maybe I'd start a sourdough. Does anyone have a mother that I could start with? It's just different. And so I did a little digging on why this is. It's of course because men, they tend to externalize their midlife crisis, buying the cars, getting their hair plugged, suddenly hitting the gym, like they are literally training for the Olympics. And the women, we tend to internalize things. We are diving into hobbies. We are doing self-improvement. We are, you know, picking up niche interests that really bring our inner child alive, which, yeah, could be sourdough, backyard chickens, astrology. You really think about that. And psychologists say that the difference is because men are more likely to seek external validation while women focus on finding meaning and purpose. And I think that makes so much sense. I think especially at the beginning of our lives when we're younger, first of all, women, we are always, we from the jump are taught to compete with other women because it's either going to be one or the other. It's going to be you or it's going to be you, because you can't both have it. And we live most of our lives, and maybe the second half of our lives, or, you know, from midlife, teaching ourselves that's not true. There's room at the table for everyone. It's not a finite resource. You know, it's not finite. There are opportunities for everybody. There's enough money for everyone. There's enough opportunities for everyone. There's chances for everyone to win equally. When we are taught from the beginning from childhood that it's either you or you. I know I certainly experienced that. I've talked a lot about that in the past, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that. But yeah, I think that maybe that's why women tend to internalize. We go into our hobbies, we go into self-improvement, we go into realizing that the world has a lot of opportunity for us. And maybe that the whole, you know, first part of our life was a lie. That's not a big deal. We just want to find purpose in our midlife crisis. Okay. We don't need to get a hot body. We don't need to get a younger boyfriend. Although we could, because we're all hot, ladies. We are all hot, sexy women. Okay. And so also the crisis timeline for men and women is different. Men's midlife crisis hits earlier, ages 40 to 45, while women's often happen around 50. And this came from the University of Cambridge. Why? Women are still often deep in family or caregiving responsibilities when men start freaking out about aging. Once they hit 50, they're like, I just want a quiet morning with my chickens. That's so true. And God, it's kind of rough. I don't want to go too deep this episode, but yeah, we're too busy raising kids, doing all the things. Not that men aren't, especially, you know, in my case, I'm very lucky. Jeff does a lot. However, I've always talked about the mental load and the mental load of mothers, even if the man is helping out 50% of the time or even more. I do think that mental load is still falling on the women, the moms. And so we're too busy like taking care of kids and getting shit done and making sure our careers are taking off and doing all this to even freaking think about a midlife crisis until we're 50, until truly midlife. Because I hope, knock on wood, love to reach 100. Or would I? I don't know. I bitch a lot about modern things and technology. However, I hope technology can make, I'm not even going to get started. I already have like a neck thing going on with my wrinkles, but yeah, I don't want to look 100. Let's just say that. Another reason men spend more money, women seek more fulfillment. The classic male midlife splurge, average cost of a midlife crisis car, $60,000. I bet it's more than that. That came from Forbes. Average cost of a surprise divorce. Oh my God, a lot. Divorces cost a lot of money. Men are 2 times more likely to make impulsive big purchases than women. That comes from Credit Karma. Thanks, Credit Karma. The classic female midlife splurge, sourdough starter kit, $10. If that, you can do it all in your house for less than that. A bag of flour does not cost $10. A chicken coop, $400. Actually, the one that we were looking at was more like $1,800, but it turns out Jeff is just going to build us a chicken coop. Yeah, because we're getting these chickens, okay? We are getting these chickens, rip these chickens from like, no, I'm jinxing a lot. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts with Jewish hosts, and people of the Jewish faith are very, very superstitious. And I relate to that a lot because I'll say things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that because that's assuming something that's going to happen that might not happen. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, Jeff is going to build the chicken coop is where I was going with that. Jeff is going to build this chicken coop. And I'm really excited. He's such a good woodworker. Geez, I'm really I hope he doesn't listen to this. His head is not going to be able to fit through the door, but we're really excited for that. And then also the women's version of a midlife crisis is just healthier. Studies show that women's midlife shifts actually improve their well-being, while men's are often tied to stress, regret, and financial instability. That comes from the Journal of Behavioral Sciences. The Harvard study of adult development found that men who overcorrect their aging insecurities, like dating younger women or reckless spending, report lower life satisfaction later on. So there's a lot to back up my claim here. I just think, yeah, women, we just want to maybe learn how to use a sewing machine if we never got to use a sewing machine. We just want to bake bread for our families. And men want to go catch herpes from some 27-year-old, probably younger. That's just so gross, men. I think you should really work on it. Really look inward, less outward, and we'll see where you are. But hopefully none of our guys and the fellas listening to this, you're nowhere near your midlife crisis yet because you're all hot, young daddies. Gross. I didn't like saying that. I think I'm done. Should we take a peek at your big ones? As a reminder, the Big One segment is a segment we do each week where you could submit your big or unpopular opinions about anything. It could be about something happening in your very small community. It could be something happening globally. It could be something in pop culture. It doesn't matter. No topic is off limits. We're going to talk about it. So let's hop in. Big opinion. SNL 50 did not disappoint. Now, I told this person I actually haven't gone to watch the entire thing yet because it was like 3 hours long. However, I have seen bits and pieces here and there, and what I have seen, it did not disappoint. Something that really stuck out to me was Adam Sandler sang this song that he wrote, and I'm sure he worked with the writers of SNL to write too. That man, he's so good. It made me emotional. Everyone thinks, he's so funny, and he is. He's funny. He's talented. The older I've gotten, I love his movies. I love that movie Blended with he and Drew Barrymore. So good. And all of his other movies are so good. But he wrote this song, and it was about, how the first cast of Saturday Night Live really set the bar and opened the door for the rest of them to, succeed. And then he talked about the friends that he had lost. He had talked about Chris Farley. He talked about a couple of Phil Hartman. Oh my gosh, it was so touching, and it really did make me cry. Yeah, I sat here and I cried. But it was so good. So what I have seen, no, SNL 50 did not disappoint. This next one, I had to ask for clarification. This person said, BST site admins are always on such a damn power trip. And I said, what is a BST site? And they said, buy, sell, trade. Oh, that is so funny because yes, anyone who runs a website like that or a page like that, they are so crazy. They take their job, and it's not even really a job. Well, I don't think, maybe it is a real job, but it seems to me to be just more of a side hustle. They take it so seriously, the rules, the things you can say, the things, and you can see it in the fear that people participate in those pages they have. So they'll post something, they'll be like, I'm not sure if this is allowed, delete if not allowed. Like they're already worried that whatever they're going to say, even though they have a strict criteria of rules to post by, they're already afraid that it's going to get flagged and taken down. So yeah, delete if this is not allowed, because these psychos that run the buy sell trade sites, they are on such a power trip. Actually, you can't say that. Oh, actually, okay. You need to calm down and really think about what you're on a power trip about. I think maybe you're projecting something in your life, maybe your marriage, maybe your, upbringing. And now you're probably the youngest child who always got bullied and beat up on. And now you're trying to use that here. Like you're the one in charge. You're the big sister. You're the one telling everybody no. So maybe just look in the mirror and calm down a little bit. Big opinion. Replying to an email with per my last email is just a nice way of saying you're an idiot. Yeah, that's true. I feel like we have talked about corporate lingo on here before. And if so, it's fine, because I could go on about this. I could seriously write a 10-page paper about why people write and use corporate lingo. And first and foremost, I think they're just trying to be better than everybody else. Just talk normally, please. Per my last email, that tops the list of just passive aggressive things to say in an email. However, when you can use it, hell yeah, use it, because you know that the person you are replying to clearly deserves whatever you're about to say. So yeah, say per my last email instead of saying I already fucking sent it to you, Joyce. Can you fucking read? I guess say per my last email, but corporate slang in general just needs to go away, because you seem like such a prick when you use it. Yeah, that felt good to say. You're not better than me just because you are circling back. You're not better than me just because you're feeling the synergy in the room. You're not better than me because you're making more money than me. Okay, anyway. Big opinion. The little divider at the grocery store checkout is the most passive aggressive item ever invented. No, it isn't. What are you talking about? The little divider at the grocery store is not passive aggressive. The little divider at the grocery store separates my items from your items. It's not passive aggressive. What are you talking about? I'm trying to think of a world where it's passive aggressive. It just makes life easier for everybody. You set it on there. You know what I like to do when I do it? I'll just grab it and I'll look at the next person and I'll kind of give them a smile, and then I'll set the little divider on there. Not I don't grab it not looking and slam it down. Of course, I'm way better than you. My groceries are way better than your groceries. However, my groceries are 9 times out of 10 better than your groceries. Oh my God, I got stuck behind this lady the other day that was just buying the individual cat foods. And you can buy those in the 24 packs, because when these fucking cats around here were kittens, I used to do that. No, she bought them individually, and then just a ton of Mountain Dew. And I'm like, okay, you're going to have a party tonight. That's fine. I did kind of slam the little divider down that day, but it wasn't to show her that I'm better than you. Maybe she's eating the cat food. I don't know. That the cat food and the Mountain Dew, not a good combo. Maybe it is. I don't know. She was actually quite thin. Maybe I should get on the cat food Mountain Dew diet. And that's actually all I have for this week. It's a shorty without Jeff here to go back and forth and to share his big opinion. It's just why is life worth living? What? That seemed dramatic. But that's it. That's all she wrote. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you submit your big opinions next week, just like you did this week. Thank you for everyone who did. And yeah, I hope you have a good Friday, have a good weekend. And in my opinion, you are the very, very best. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Big Opinions Podcast. Big Opinions is produced by me, Mackenzie Edie. Please follow, rate, and review this show if you like it. If you have big ones you want to share, just send them over to @Big Opinions Podcast on Instagram. Thank you again. And in my opinion, you're the best.